There we go. Good evening, my friends. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Live. I got to make a little change here. Why did that not? Let me expand this. There we go. Of course, now I can't see my comments. We'll make it work. Anyway, my friends, good evening. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Live here on Mike Avery Outdoors. My name is Mike Avery. And Sean, good evening, buddy. How are you? Nice to have you along with us. In the middle of the week, a hump day. Mike, what day is it? It's hump day. This is something I do every Wednesday night on my Facebook page, YouTube, Twitter. Hey, Jim, how are things in Tennessee? Mike, what day is it? It's hump day. Johnny, good evening. How are you, buddy? Truly a hump day this week. Hey, Craig, nice to have you along with us as well. Good evening, Jeff. Always a pleasure. Appreciate you being along. Chris, same. Out of the, hey, Lori. Johnny says, Mike, what day is it? Heather, how are you? Tim? All right, let's get it out of the way. Mike, what day is it? It's Wednesday, February 23rd. It's hump day! It takes a lot for me to do that. Elliot, good evening. How are you? If you haven't been with me, if you weren't with me earlier, hey, Mike, I'm just getting over, well, I don't know if I'm getting over it. COVID. I had COVID last week. Since we last talked, I ended up in ER with a good case of COVID. They did not admit me. I was just in for about 5 hours last Thursday night, in fact. A temp of 103, could not stop shivering. A headache that hasn't stopped since then. My lungs were all tight, but I was vaccinated, so I knew I wasn't going to be, I was going to be all right. But it was kind of miserable there for a while. Hey, Joel, all is well. Appreciate you asking. Yes, it is the 23rd. I threw you for a loop there, didn't I? Dan, good evening. Nice to have you along with us. Mike, always a pleasure. Look forward to seeing you here in about a week. Yeah, it was. Hey, Heather, how are you? Yeah, it was a miserable few hours. In fact, a miserable few days. And I'm still not 100%. I mean, I came home from the radio studio today and I crashed. I mean, I don't know how long it was. I bet it was an hour and a half nap and woke up and felt a lot better. Still had a heck of a headache. Yeah, I did that intentionally, Tim. I waited 2 years to not get the real COVID so I could get the fake COVID. 3 months to fully recover. I believe it, Elliot. But I'm doing good. I mean, it's God was watching over me, and I had been vaccinated, and it's all good. So I'm back at it now, and I'm here for another edition of Wednesday Night Live. A few things I want to talk about tonight, including the ice storm we just had here in Michigan yesterday in my part of the state, the central part of the state. Oh my gosh, I got to read this here. Daughter's boyfriend just pulled an old man out of a burning home, Standish, Seville Department. Oh my gosh, a hero. Round 2 of COVID was very easy. I'm not going to have a round 2. Scott says the headache lasts for a while. He still gets headaches 4 weeks later. Good evening, Jason. How are you? Johnny says, I do that every day. Hey, Ace, how are you, buddy? I appreciate it. Ace, if you don't come up and fish with me this summer on the new Angler Quest, and by the way, I found out I'm the new 2022 26-foot Angler Quest with a 300-horse Mercury outboard, I would be very disappointed, my friend Ace. Brent, you better get out on the new Angler Quest as well. Hey, Jeff, Cliff, COVID makes you tired. It did me. I mean, in fact, when we get done here today, I haven't had a maker's mark in my Crystal Light for over a week now because I haven't felt good enough. I'm finally starting to feel good enough where I might put a little splash in here tonight. Let's see. Oh, and I'm showing you the wrong side. I don't want to show you this side. I want to show you this side. Joel's had it twice. Second time's not as bad. Hey, Mad Jack, how are you? Yeah, I was talking to Brad Dupuis of Angler Quest Boats on the radio show today that I recorded today for next week. Good for you, Ace. You're retired now. My wife, Denise, retired a couple of weeks ago as well. And I, personally, the big guy, am never going to retire. Why would I? No red-winged blackbird yet for me. In fact, I haven't even seen a dead skunk yet because I've been pretty close to home. I haven't really felt good enough to be out driving around and up and about. So I'm sure the first time I make a road trip looking for a dead skunk, I'm probably going to find one. Amen to that, Johnny. You need to come down here and fish with me, buddy. Absolutely. Dennis is still recovering from COVID. Happy hump day. Hump up. Mike, what day is it? What day is it? Hump day. Chipmunks are out, Scott says. I haven't seen him yet. But you would know, Scott. You live there in paradise. Linda, I'm not. I you know what? That's very nice of you to say, but I'm not. I mean, why would I retire? It's not like I'm in a job that is physically demanding. It's not like I'm working 80-hour weeks anymore. As long as my mind is still sharp enough to try to string some thoughts together, I'm going to keep at it. As long as God will allow me, I'm going to keep at it. Favorite. Here we go. Interesting question from Jess. What are your favorite fish to catch in ice fishing, and what bait do you use? Anybody know the answer to my favorite fish to catch through the ice? I don't have one. I don't ice fish. I bet it was nice to hear him. Put a smile on your face. Yeah, it's one of those sounds, isn't it, Jeff? That Pierce. No fish. None. Absolutely. Scott knows. Scott's not much of a fisherman, but I got him out on Saginaw Bay last summer, and he liked it. Hey, Jim, how are you, buddy? Mitch has seen a couple of dead skunks so far. I'm still working on it. Okay, so a couple things I want to talk about. We did some time shifting in the studio this week because I'm going to be out doing some things maybe next week. So recorded 2 shows. Yesterday, I actually recorded the show for this weekend. On that show, I was introduced. Ed, how are you, buddy? Nice to have you along with us. I was introduced to a Michigan-based family-owned company that I was not aware of. And you know I love Michigan-based family-owned companies. Let me show you who this is. Share screen, Chrome tab. There we go. Let me share that with you. Did I just screw myself up here, though? No, I didn't. Okay. This is Brenton, USA. A Michigan-based family-owned company that makes a very accurate AR-style hunting rifles. They're based in Lansing, just down the block from the Capitol. Can't hold that against them. BrentonUSA.com. BrentonUSA.com. I'm very excited about these guys. I didn't know they existed. I'm not much of a gun hunter. I'm more of a bow hunter, but I have a lot of respect for these guys. They're high-end guns. They're not cheap, and they make them. Look at this: 450 Bushmaster, 350 Legend. Where'd we go? 450 Bushmaster, 350 Legend, 300 Hammer, 300 Blackout, 6.8, the 6.5 Grendel, 6mm, 22 Nosler, 224 Valkyrie, 223 Remington, 204 Ruger, and that's probably it. How cool is that? BrentonUSA.com. BrentonUSA.com. But I had John Cedar from this company. I'd never heard of him either. But now we have BrentonUSA.com, family-owned, Michigan-based, AR-15, highly accurate hunting style rifles based in Lansing. You'll be hearing more about them. I hope to be working with these guys. I'd love to promote these guys because I love to work with Michigan-based family-owned companies. Then Brent Pike from the Michigan Wildlife Council checks in. In hour number 2 of this week's show, one of the most popular guys in the outdoors in Michigan today. His name is Jimmy Gretzinger of Michigan Outdoors. Then in hour number, Nick Green of MUCC checks in. And in hour number 3, I figured let's take a break from ice fishing and let's talk some springtime open water fishing with Pete Patsalis of Hook One Charters on the St. Clair River. And of course, we wrap it all up with wild game chef extraordinaire Dave Miner. Okay, a couple of other things I want to talk about. You don't need one. Dean says, I don't need one, but I might have to check out a 300 Whisper. Ain't that the case? We really do. And Stacy's like, well, I don't need one, but I want one. Isn't that pretty much what a lot of our guns are? Hey, Julie, how are you? Nice to have you along with us. Do I really need another gun? Sales going through the roof now since on here. I hope so. That'd be great. BrentonUSA.com. I have needs, wants. It's all relative. I have in my gun safe right now 2 AR-15 in 223-556. And they are what I would call tactical guns. They're sloppy. They're loose. They're not highly accurate, but they would be considered home defense or if it ever hits the fan type gun. I'm fascinated by the AR platform, even though I'm not a big gun hunter. I'm fascinated by ARs. So these have my attention. Okay. Something else that has my attention, and this is the Trinity Monitor Wild Game Dinner online auction. Let me pull that one up for you. Boom, share. Okay. If you go to one.bidpal.net, one.bidpal, it is impressive, isn't it, Mike? Yeah, they're very impressive company. Oh, I'll check it out, Linda. I can't see it right now. One.bidpal.net. And if you scroll through here, I don't want to do this piece by piece. Why am I doing? I think my screen needs to be smaller. Let's try this. One.bidpal.net. All items. Here we go. For example, a seasonal launch pass for Linwood Beach Marina. The current bid is $105. That's going to go up. What else do we have on here? Rec broadheads. 6 rec broadheads and 2 practice heads. $75. In fact, that's my bid right there. I'll tell you. What else is on here that is getting my attention? Look at this one. The Great Lakes Charter Training Class with GLC Training, glctraining.com. That's $1,000 value, $500 bid right there. A walleye fishing trip for 2 on the Detroit River with Captain Mark Pananzek, $335 current bid. Still waiting for an opening bid on the whitetail shoulder mount from Scott Keatsman of Linwood Taxidermy and the VersaSkins jacket. So there's some great stuff out there. Again, one.bidpal.net, one.bidpal.net/Trinity Monitor. And you can get in on that until March 5th at 7 o'clock. Evening, Daryl. How are things up in White River? Gary Morgan, 5 tagged bears last fall were on the 450 on the AR platform. Beautiful gun and even more impressive performer. I got my, I see there's your picture now, Linda. Gotcha. Perfect. Where'd we go? Yeah. John Cedar, who I was talking with from Brenton, USA, said that 450 is their most popular caliber. If I was to get one, I'm not sure. I might not get it in a 350. Because I probably wouldn't be moose hunting with it. I probably wouldn't be grizzly bear hunting with it. I might go for a 350. And then how much time would I actually hunt with it versus just screwing on the range and just have fun? Lori, there you go. I was asking this, Lori. In fact, I just emailed Deidre, who is our auction coordinator, our event coordinator extraordinaire. I was just emailing Deidre to ask if your info was up there yet because I was looking for this for your hunt, you and Brian, because I wanted to promote it. Okay, so we'll be looking for that. Johnny's having a private conversation with Lori. Bill, I got to tell you, I'm actually right now feeling the best that I've probably felt in about a week and a half. Again, if you're just joining us, I'm just getting over COVID. I didn't know I had it last Wednesday night when I was sitting here. I had COVID. I had Monday night and Tuesday night and Wednesday night, just some really, really bad backaches that woke me up in the middle of the night. And I thought, that's weird. Wednesday, I'm sitting in there's Dave Thomas, Michigan made Brenton Arms. I was just talking about him, Dave. Dave of Bowhunter Planet, bowhunterplanet.com. Dave, I had a friend of yours, John Cedar, on the show for this weekend talking about Brenton USA. I just shared their website. Very, very impressive, but you know that. So I had a really bad backache. I was in the radio studio. I had a little bit of a runny nose, which is not uncommon for me with my sinuses in the wintertime. And by the end of the show, my throat was getting a little bit scratchy. By Thursday night, I was in ER with a temp of 103, shaking so bad, chills so bad I couldn't control them. My headache felt like my head was going to explode, and I was having a hard time breathing. Ding, 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 ding. COVID. Dave says, yeah, John is the man. Well, Craig, bid on it, man. It's there. It's just waiting for you. Well, speaking of the man, there's John himself. John, I don't know if you were here earlier. In fact, let me pull it up again. John Cedar, who is commenting right here, is the guy that I'm talking about, who I have on the show this weekend. Let me pull this back up again. Here we go. Share screen. BrentonUSA.com. BrentonUSA.com. A Michigan-based, family-owned, for the most part. Yeah, family-owned. Based in Lansing. AR-15 style, extremely accurate hunting rifles. John, you need one of these, buddy. They're not inexpensive, but you get what you pay for. I love Michigan-based companies. These guys have my attention. Look at the different chambers. 450 Bushmaster, 350 Legend, which I think would be the one to get my attention. 300 Hammer, 300 Blackout, 6.8, 6.5 Grendel, 6 millimeter, 22 Nosler, 224 Valkyrie, 223 Remington, and 204 Ruger. They've got everything. And they're made here in Michigan, and nobody knows about them. Yeah, I am. John, I appreciate that. I'm doing a lot better. I never lost my taste of sense or smell. Pew, 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 Jason says. Hey, Jason, your buddy there in the police department that emailed me. I'm hoping, Dave, I'd like to work with these guys and help promote them, and I think you're doing the same thing. Jason, your buddy there in the police department that emailed me, I had returned his email. I'm looking for a PayPal account to help out with that fundraiser that's coming up on March 5th. Yeah, thank you, Stacy. I'm honest to goodness. Today has kind of turned around. This afternoon I've turned around. March 5th is the Burger Bash. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Do they machine the upper and lower? John? I'm sure they do. John, do they machine the upper and the lower? They're made right here in Michigan in Lansing. Dave's watching this from Florida on vacation. Well, have fun, buddy. You'll send me a message. Okay, thank you, Jason. As in built from scratch. Yes, I believe so, but I'm waiting for John Cedar to weigh in. Your feet are hurting from a trip at Universal. John Cedar, do they make everything from scratch? Do they build these uppers and lowers from scratch at Brenton Arms? I suspect they do, but John Cedar would be the guy. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. Yeah, I am. Honestly, today I'm finally starting to come back to life. I haven't had a cigar or a splash of Maker's Mark in over a week because I haven't felt good enough. And it's about time to maybe enjoy a little bit of both. John Cedar, are they built from scratch? Are they? Dave Thomas is the man. John, are they built? Are Brenton USA arms built from scratch? We are not full for the Ohio hunt. We have an opening. My pontoon Gene is not going to Linwood. I keep mine at the mouth of the Saginaw River. The uppers are all handmade here in Michigan, and the lower is made of some of our components and Magpul parts. So yes, indeed, it's hump day in more ways than one. Absolutely true. The guy, no. So is this the guy that used to make ultimate muzzleloaders? No, it's not. It's not. But that's an interesting point. It is not. My new one, yes, I talked to Nubs. Never had it. Never have. Hey, Joe. Always a pleasure. I sincerely mean that. Always a pleasure. I appreciate it when you take time out of your busy schedule to join us. Thank you. Yeah, Gene, I talked to Brad Dupuis today for next weekend's show. And I said, Brad, I've been shooting my mouth off. I'm giving away a bunch of charity fishing trips. Am I going to have a boat to take people out? He said, absolutely, you're going to have one. So what they're building for me, Gene, what you're building for me is a 2022 26-foot with an 8.5-foot beam Angler Quest Pro Troll, and they're going to put a 300-horse Mercury on there. So I think this one I'd like to hang on to for a couple of years. What's the cost of the Ohio hunt? Emil, for you, it's $5,000. It's $5,000, Emil, and that's a deal. Everybody else is paying more. You'll pay $5,000, and it's a deal. And it's that type of rationale and reasoning that will be effective for us in our fundraiser at Trinity Monitor. Decent cigar. The nubs are. Here's my favorite cigar right now. I like Fat Bottom Betty's in a Maduro wrapper. Fat Bottom Betty's, I think, are all, no, they're not. Maduros are great. I love Maduros. Fat Bottom Betty in a Maduro wrapper, and I'm a happy, happy guy. But yes, to answer the question, we do have one more opening for our Ohio hunt next fall with Bill Piles of Ohio Bow Hunting Adventures, the third week in October. It is Joe, listen, you're welcome to join us. I mean, it's not a free hunt. It's a paid hunt, but we're looking for one more. No, I don't think mine's being made yet, Gene. I don't think mine's up yet. Hey, Jody, how are you? Well, this is interesting, Craig. This is very interesting. Craig Plowman, my good friend, who I am blessed with so many great friends. Craig Plowman, who is about 2 docks down from me at the marina and can fish with me anytime he wants, was at the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation dinner in Saginaw on the 11th, which is the same night I got COVID, by the way. I know it's the same night I got COVID. At a family event. Craig paid money to win the fishing trip with me on Saginaw Bay. And Joe Llewellyn, personal invitation to you as well. You are welcome to come down and fish walleye with me on the Angler Quest on Saginaw Bay anytime this summer, and I'd love to have you. Edgar, you're late, man. Mike, what day is it? Hump day. Oh, Dave, I might be able to help you out there. Yeah, we'll have fun. Okay. Where was I? So Craig buys a fishing trip with me and he can fish with me for free. Ross Elliott has done the same thing. I mean, come on, man. How far back you want to go? Yeah, Joe, that would be great. I would enjoy that. How far back you want to go, Dave Thomas of Bowhunter Planet, bowhunterplanet.com. Exactly. And Craig even has his own boat. I tell you, God has, I was talking about this on the radio show today. I mean, I have been truly, truly blessed to be able to do something that I absolutely love. And I think be able to continue to do it with a certain amount of passion because I am doing something that I love so much. It's a wonderful spot to be in for an old guy, but no crawlers on the Angler Quest. Joe Llewellyn, do not bring down a night crawler or you will not be allowed on my Angler Quest. '85 to 2005. I bet something could. I bet. Let me work on that, Dave. I think that might. And if not, I probably. Well, you know more people than I do in the archery business. So anyway, Craig Plowman. Getting back to your original question, which you thought I forgot about. I was talking with Brad Dupuis, Mr. Angler Quest, the guy who came up with. Gotcha, Dave. The original concept. And I said, what about this, Brad Dupuis? The current trend on these big high-end tri-tunes, these triple tubes, is to put dual outboards, one on each side. Are there plans to put multiple outboards, multiple motors on any upcoming Angler Quest boats? And he quite uncharacteristically didn't deny it. And he said, you know, Mike, he said, we're looking at it. It has our attention. He said, but rather, all right, Dave, have fun. Enjoy the rest of your vacation. He said, but rather than hang like twin 300s on one of these things, which would be just ridiculous, he said, since these bigger high performance outboards like the twos, the deuces and the quarters, the 300s are very hard to get right now. He said, what about taking one and putting like a couple of 90 horses on there or putting a couple of 150 horse outboards on there that are easier to get? Wouldn't that be cool? And the thing that gives you, other than a ridiculously high price tag, is it gives you a certain amount of security and safety. Because when you're out there 10, 12, 15 miles offshore and you get a motor problem, an engine problem, unless it's a fuel problem, and that's always a possibility, you've got a second motor to come back in on. So you'll bring the snacks and the Pepsi. Johnny Bowler, I have this feeling, my friend, that if you show up fishing on my Angler Quest, Pepsi is probably not what you're going to be bringing. You're welcome to. Compounder Recurve Day says both. Still a little remnant in there. I got my inhaler and all that good stuff, but I'm feeling just all of a sudden, I mean, honestly, within like the last 3 hours, I can feel it coming around. I can feel it. I can feel myself starting to get a little healthier. Bourbon, John. Bourbon. Maker's Mark. Right here. And John, that information you were asking for from me, I'll see if I can't get that to you tomorrow. Okay. I got a pretty busy day tomorrow, but I'd like to get that in front of you and see if we can make something happen. It would seem, no, see, that's just the opposite, Jeff. And I see what you're saying though. Jeff says it seems that would get in the way in the back of the boat for bringing in the fish. But actually what it does is it opens it up, because rather than one big outboard in the middle of the platform, then you have to land fish around it. You've got an outboard on each side, and you've got this opening right up the chute that you can bring fish right up the middle and land them that way. I think, beautiful, John. Appreciate that. I think it makes a lot of sense. Spring fever combined with COVID. Yeah. Some tall boy. Where'd you go, Johnny? Tall boys. Jason, I see well, let me see. I can pull it up here real quick. Got it. Jason, I got it. Just had another thing. Oh, I forgot to tell you this. Ted Harpham of Dart and Archery today let me know that for the online auction, for those of you in person at the dinner, Darton is donating a Toxin 100 RD crossbow and package. Yeah, the QR code. Let me pull it up for you here real quick. Yes, I can do that. Let me pull it up here. Slides. There we go. Boom. Ask and ye shall receive. Michelle is trying to pull up the QR code right now for the Trinity Monitor dinner. There is the code right now. If you scan that with your phone, hey, Ken, I was just talking about you on the radio show today for next weekend. If you scan that right there, that will take you directly to the Trinity Monitor wild game dinner site. Yes, you could. You could get there in a hurry. I tell you what, though, that 300, the single 300 Merc gets you there pretty fast. Okay, got it, Michelle? 2 inches of sleep. Man, that doesn't sound good. You may just bring that home. What are we talking? What were we talking there, Johnny? May just bring that home. I lost track of what we were talking about, Johnny. Any Mountain Dew at the dinner since that's my boat's name, Tony? There will be Mountain Dew there. And Tony, I look forward to seeing you. As many times as you and I have talked, I think the only time I've ever seen you in person was actually on the water when we were both up in our skinny water, and I was watching what you did. You are a skinny water rat, just like I am. That's a term of affection. That's a term of endearment. You can. It's obvious when I watch you up in there. You've spent some time in that skinny water, and I'm anxious to get back up in there. Things were getting a little tense, were they, Craig? Johnny wants the crossbow. Oh, Johnny, dude, you've already got that. What's the high end one? The Raven. You've already got a Raven. Yeah, Jeff, you're in the southwest part of the state, right? It would be a long drive for you. Although Johnny Bowler's coming down from the UP, coming down from Seney. Johnny's hardcore though. Yeah, Jeff, that would be nice. I would like that. We would all like that. The whole crew here would like that. All right. So what else is going on? I just can't tell you how much better I feel. I'm feeling really, really blessed tonight. Okay. So ice conditions across the state starting to get a little bit squirrely in some spots. I talked about the online auction, one.bidpal.net, one.bidpal.net, Linwood Beach Marina Pass, Wreck Broadheads, Great Lakes Charter Training Class, Detroit River Walleye Fishing, Shoulder Mount, Versa Skins Jacket, Oscar and Joey's gift certificates, Upland Bird Hunt with wild card guides. And that's in the online. Coloma. Yeah, that's a pretty good drive. Hey, Terry, how are things in Shingleton? Is Shingleton still the home of Iverson snowshoes, Terry? Michelle, I love the way you think. Michelle and Craig Plowman. Two of the nicest people you met. Michelle says, we've already made our reservations for to stay at Bay Valley that night, and they only live 15 miles from the banquet. It is still a home. Okay. Got to get out of bed to change your luck. Not sure what that means, Scott. 3 baskets. Thank you, Lori. Appreciate that. Johnny says it's uphill all the way back home. Yeah, Lori, you've been very gracious. You and Brian in your and generous in your support for dinner. We appreciate it very, very much. Again, if you want to take advantage of the online auction, and you can bid through 7:00 on Saturday night, March 5th. Scan this QR code right here. It'll take you to one.bidpal.net, one.bidpal.net. And you can bid on several auctions. More are being added all the time. The Upland Bird Hunt hasn't even been added yet. That's coming up. So scan that QR code right there, and it'll take you to the Trinity Monitor online auction sites. All right, where else am I? Besides feeling surprisingly good. Man. Oh, he's talking about you sleeping in. I got you. You guys have these side conversations, and my old brain sometimes just can't keep up with it. All right, Daryl. Nice talking to you. Scott was telling Johnny he's got to get out of bed. I got you. All I need is just a little bit of a kick, and I can figure it out. Details on the bird hunt. Lori, why don't you share that with us? Because I haven't seen it. It's not posted yet. Lori Card-Stroick, who is on here right now, can share the details of that hunt because it's her and her husband, Brian, giving it away. So, Lori, feel free to chime in with those details. And I don't blame you, Johnny. You go down there to relax and have fun, right? Johnny says, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Johnny says, I'm fine. And as one of our live auction items, Johnny is giving away a UP bear hunt or a whitetail hunt. Craig Plowman and his friend Cedar. I'm sorry, I got a mental block on your friend's name, Craig. They are auctioning off an African safari. So we've got everything from African safaris to Saginaw River cruises to fishing trips on Lake Michigan. Ferdy, thank you, Craig. Ferdy, there we go. Fishing trips on Lake Michigan to walleye fishing trips with me on Saginaw Bay. It's just the generosity is just blowing me away. Just blowing me away. One.bidpal.net. All right, I told you about Brenton Arms. They're on the radio show this weekend. Jimmy Gretzinger, you're going to enjoy the conversation with him. When you sign off a little honey and lemon in that Maker's Mark, will fix you up. I think it's time. Like I said, I haven't had one for over a week now, and I feel like I'm up to it tonight, and I just might take advantage of it. So thank you for that suggestion. Pete Patsalas talking about open water fishing on the St. Clair River. That's a tremendous resource we have here in Michigan. Tremendous fishery. And it's starting to feel like we might be out on open water earlier than maybe what we thought we were going to be 2 weeks ago. In fact, Brad was telling me today that they want to hurry up and get my boat made so it can go in the water. I've got a note here next to John Cedar's name about AR-10s. I don't fully understand this yet. Sorry for my nose. Michigan brand, thank you. Michigan brand has anything in the live auction. Michigan brand is in the live auction, and we are auctioning off Michigan brand products for a year. Michigan brand, and again, sorry, this is only for the people who are there. Thank you, Johnny. Oh, cool. Well, Johnny, let me ask you this. If you've got those pictures, we can go ahead and please do, Johnny, because we'll put them in the online auction now, and try to generate some more money with them. Johnny, please do. Yeah, absolutely. COVID runs scared when chased by Jack Daniels, also when chased by Maker's Mark. Anyway, Michigan brand's giving away Michigan brand products for a year, a new shipment to your house every month for a year. The AR-10, AR-15 platform, I hope to be learning more about this company and their products and helping to share that information with you. I love Michigan-based family-owned products. I'm fascinated by the AR-15 platform, even though I am primarily a bow hunter and will stay a bow hunter. This AR-15 has me very interested. Well, I may have seen a little something too. I'm playing dumb here. I may have seen a little something, but I don't think I've seen the finished version. But Johnny, if I can get the finished version, then we'll go ahead and post it. Okay, Tim Binns, who is my expert for just about everything all the way around, says the AR-10 equals 308 length cartridge. So the AR-10 platform is for the 30 caliber 308s and such. Joe says Michigan brand is such a great company, so generous. They are. Okay, Jeremy's weighing into AR-10 is 308 to 762. Okay. So the AR-15 denotes or designates or is equivalent to a shorter length cartridge, and the AR-10, when you start stretching it out to a 308 to a 762, that becomes an AR-10. Okay. All right. Excellent. See, I didn't. Okay, and Ron's okay. And 6.5 as well. Got it, Larry. Yeah, let's go ahead and post those. I'd like to post those and get some action going on them. Thank you, Tim. And Tim, you and Jen have a beautiful piece of heaven up there. I'm really happy for you guys. I'm sorry you're not going to be able to make the dinner, but I'm really happy for what you've got going on. All right. Even though I'm feeling much better, I'm feeling like it might be time to wrap this up tonight. So I think we'll go ahead and do that. My website, MikeAveryOutdoors.com. My email address, Mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com. You can always reach out to me. I would welcome it. Mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com. Again, go to this QR code right here to get involved in the Trinity Monitor. Got to see what Johns has to say. I just ordered before Christmas a 22 250 that wouldn't have worked in an AR-15, but only an AR-10. But a company I ordered with a machine make it an AR-15. Interesting. Well, John, you're like a gun guy. You know that stuff inside and out. Johnny, let's not get carried away here, man. One step at a time, dude. I appreciate it, but we'll save that one for next year because there is interest in your bear hunt or your deer hunt. I'll tell you that right now. All right, my friends. It's been a lot of fun tonight. Again, coming back to life here, coming back around, and I have a feeling I probably won't be in the hospital tomorrow night like I was last week at this time. So that's all good. Yeah, I am. I tell you what, I was feeling about 50% yesterday. I felt about 75% this afternoon. Right now, I'm starting to feel closer to 85%. So, man, we're moving the right direction. All right, my friends. Again, appreciate you. Dave says, okay, Tim. Excellent. Good to know. All right, my friends. And thank you, Craig. Appreciate that. Thank you for joining me on this edition of Wednesday Night Live. It's always nice to be able to interact with you. And I look forward to doing this again. We'll do another. I'm tentatively back in the studio next Wednesday morning. If so, we'll do a behind the mic next Wednesday morning at 8:45. And I have every intent on doing another Wednesday Night Live 1 week from tonight right here on Mike Avery Outdoors. Have a good night, my friends. Again, thanks for joining me on this edition of Wednesday Night Live.